Welcome to Season 2 of Binge Or Cringe Tunes podcast with Jimmy and Rocko.
Hello and welcome to Binge Or Cringe Tunes. This week's submission is by a band called 15th Bend, and the song's called Falling. Let's have a listen. Okay, great. Rocko, let's have your thoughts on this song.
First thing I noticed, I found that there was a nice balance throughout the song. The sequence bass type sound and pattern really sounded dated though. The intro was long, so at first I thought it might be an instrumental. The vocal melody and tone, it gave me a bit of, Kate Bush vibes. There's definitely 80s influences in it. There's long instrumental guitar parts that could have really benefited from a more dynamic bass pattern and drum underneath. I found that the drum here is like a metronome. And if there is a snare, personally I did not hear it. Structure, no, I didn't sense that there was one with a long intro, repetitive lyrics, and the spotlight on guitar. And the ending is abrupt. There's no fade out or even a clean stop. It's a decent song. It has good elements, but it lacked direction. So I think the title works in this case. Jimmy?
Okay, well, let me start with some good elements, and then I'll get to the bad ones. So, the crest factor was good. The dynamic range of 10 was quite acceptable. You peaked at minus 2.1, which is quite the modern level that people use a lot. And your LUFS is at minus 15.5, which is also right near the standard, but you could get louder. This is something that we hear a lot these days where they go down to minus 10. Now, if you start getting towards the bad side, on the tonal balance, you were bass heavy and treble light. So it makes for a little bit of a tiring listen. It's dull on one end, but you got a lot of bass. So that's something you may want to look at, how you mix the low end and the high end. Your mono compatibility was bad. I lost a lot of information going to mono. So there's something wrong there. You must have some potential phase issues, and some elements in very wide stereo pattern that cancel each other out. I didn't hear it in the stereo correlation, which in itself wasn't bad, wasn't great. That's something you want to look at. And then if I go back to the tonal balance based on the spectrum analysis showed me the same thing on the tonal balance. The bass was too much and the highs were too low, although you did cover the full spectrum. So, and then the last detail, your average to peak loudness was at 2.5, which is a little bit on the rich side, heavy side, but still acceptable. I'll go back to it. You want to look at your stereo and your mono compatibility and your tonal balance, and adjust the bass and the high end. That's what I have to say about this tune. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Jimmy, and I'm out.
I'm Rocko, and I'm out as well.
Thank you for listening to Binge or Cringe Tunes with Jimmy and Rocko, and until next time.